This is Spare Parts, your show for all things motorsports. With your hosts, Stephen Cleary, Sean Cavarella, and Taylor Moore.
Hear that music?
Welcome to another episode of Spare Parts. I'm your host, Sean.
Frantically hitting refresh on Twitter, waiting for Piastri news. I'm Steven.
And I'm Taylor.
So, this week into motorsports, we kind of had two big events to look forward to. One was a dud, and one was absolutely ridiculous. And that, obviously, I'm talking about the Belgian Grand Prix and NASCAR at Daytona. What was it, the Coke 400, I think it was, something like that?
Sugar-free Coke.
Okay, well.
Or some shit, I don't
Get
know.
your technicality.
Sorry, Coke Zero sugar. There you go.
Whatever happened to Coke Zero? Why do we have to change it up? Anyway.
Uh,
So we had two races this weekend. Each one has so many storylines coming out of it. Which one do you guys want to start with?
one do you pick?
I need someone to communicate with me. This is an audio format. You need to talk.
I don't care either one. Like, I will talk NASCAR. I will talk
No, you won't.
F1.
You didn't watch it. Let's be honest.
I paid attention to it.
I mean, that's more than we get most weeks, so we'll take that one.
Like, okay, first off, y'all, look, will I ever sit and watch a NASCAR race fully
Yes,
through?
we'll make you.
TBD. Well, we would have to be in the same room on a Sunday for that to happen.
We can make that happen. There was
okay,
more
sure.
NASCAR races than any other series. We can figure
I know,
it
which
out.
is sad. But I was paying attention to it. Well, let's just start with NASCAR. I was paying attention to it, mostly because Twitter, like, all of the videos popped off about what happened in the first, like, was it that race? It was that race, right? Where, like, everybody crashed into each other?
I mean, which time?
Like, right off the start.
There was many. I'll be honest. There was a lot. The first one that was the big one. Well, the first big one, I guess, was the one that took out Ryan Blaney. You know,
Right.
playoff hopeful. And at that point
And
in the
he's-
race, it looked like he was done.
Okay, but he's not done because he's in the playoffs right now.
Oh yes,
As of right now.
he
Okay.
miraculously got in. What was it? 3
Wow.
points, I think. I think it was 3 points separated them at the end, because
Oh.
so yeah, big drama was okay. So one, when you're in, right? I guess even beforehand.
Right.
Beforehand, it was like when you're in, but it looked like one of them was going to be eliminated regardless because Kurt Busch was still in the playoffs. Kurt Busch pulled out of the playoffs. I think that was the thing, or something happened with the rule with his injury where he is not participating in the playoffs. With his
He pulled out, I thought.
yeah, something like that.
Okay.
He had some kind of statement early in the week basically saying, hey, listen, I've had this injury. I am basically pulling out. And I
He
will
hasn't
not...
raced a month.
Yeah.
It's the right choice.
Yeah. And he got, what, concussed as fuck, obviously, from that wreck in Pocono. So anyway, he pulled himself out, allowing originally Truex, who was currently out, back in. But still, it's Daytona. You win, you're in. You could be booted. So Blaney was, I guess, in the favorite position to win. He had more points going in. So if someone won, Truex had to beat Blaney on points to get in. And Blaney gets taken out like in the first stage. I want to say like 20 laps in or something like that. I don't recall exactly when it happened, but it was early in the race.
Chunked up fender. Everything's ripped on the front right.
I'm pretty sure it broke his steering.
Oh yeah, he was coming back to the pits, and you know the little orange marker on the top? That was at 3:00.
Yeah.
So
Oh.
that's not good.
Yeah, his day was ruined, but that made more drama because now you had Hamlin had a chance to race his way in.
Truex.
Right.
Sorry, Truex, not Hamilton. Hamilton's already in. Yes, it's all the same Gibbs cars.
That Toyota car.
19,
That old
11.
guy at Toyota.
Yes. So, Truex had a chance to race his way in, but he also got taken out in a wreck early, or not early, but I think it was like late stage 2 or early stage 3. He also got taken out. Now,
Stage 3.
Truex had damage, but not as bad as Blaney did. Blaney was done. Truex was able to continue. He got repaired, was back out there, was on the lead lap. And then we cut to the shenanigans, I would guess, which was, it was around, I think, like just after noon. Everyone was running hard, everyone at the front, because the rain was coming. They knew that. It was going to rain, and whoever was leading at the time the, red flag comes out, if they don't go back to green, that is your chance. So you had everyone up at the front, guys who were out of the playoffs, guys who were in the playoffs, pretty much. Like, it was a good 3 wide, like 4 deep.
Oh.
And going into turn 1, they found the rain. And that clip of everyone just getting loose, going through 1, and just wrecking out is amazing. And somehow, through all that, Austin Dillon squeaks through. So now it's like, it looks like Austin Dillon's going to win.
Right.
So before we get to the second half of the race, did everyone else get screwed there? Or shouldn't have NASCAR thrown the yellow sooner? Or was it just bad timing?
Probably just bad timing.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
You already rained out your Saturday night race, and now you're trying to beat the rain on the second one. They wanted to get it done.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed. However, I'll make the argument that those teams are all banking on lightning. Hopefully, if there was lightning in the area within whatever radius of the track, and that would have a yellow happen before the rain got there. Unfortunately for everyone, the rain got there before the lightning did.
Mm-hmm.
And that, because I remember like they were saying like, oh, it's a light rain, but the facility is so big that you could have light rain in one area, like just spitting, and it can be just perfectly fine everywhere else. So just because one spotter in that front group may be like, hey, NASCAR, it's raining. Yeah, totally. You need more than just one guy saying that to actually confirm it before you throw a yellow for rain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it was just unfortunate that they hit turn 1 right as the rain hit. Like you could see it on the onboard cameras. Like they're driving through, and it's just a wall of water they fly into. Had they been on the far side of the track when the rain hit, they would have yellowed it. Because you could have obviously been like, hey, look, there's rain there. Let's call it.
Yeah.
It was a bad situation that was just, rain plus, bad timing equals shit happens.
Yeah.
So that's unfortunate for all the guys taken out in that. But they also all knew the risk. I can't remember who it was. They showed the onboard with the spotter as they were going. No, it wasn't Bubba, I think. Maybe it's Stenhouse.
Pretty sure it was.
Was it?
Pretty sure it was
Maybe.
Bubba. Are you talking about from their main highlight pack?
No, it wasn't. This was during the actual broadcast.
Okay, maybe not then.
I can't remember who it was. Maybe Chastain, actually. I think it was Chastain. Let's go with that one.
Maybe.
It was his onboard from like the roof shot, and the spotter's talking, and the spotter's just like, go, do not lift, do not fucking lift. Like they actually had a whoopsie in the broadcast, which was kind of funny. But yeah, like everyone knew the risk, and they all went for it because they knew it could happen at any time.
Mm-hmm.
And
there was Dylan got through, Harrison Burton almost got through.
Oh, he
until
almost did.
He just clipped. I can't remember which car it was up at the front there, but he was running 6th, which is amazing for him first and foremost. But then he clipped the front left and he spun. Kevin Harvick went for a gap that was
there and then wasn't.
Well, I was gonna say he basically needed to part the Red Sea and get through a car coming down the top and Harrison Burton and the other guy coming up the track didn't quite get there.
Well,
there was a couple.
Those guys coming up the track cleared the way for Dylan to get through.
Yes,
but it was nuts when they line up back in the pit lane because now it's the rain delay and there's like 14 cars there.
Yep.
Yeah, you started with 37. You're down to 14.
Yep. I think. Where is it here? Jeff Gluck had retweeted something. It was like an 86% crash rate from that race. Like 86% of the cars were involved in some form of wreck, which is the second highest. Yeah, here it is. Sorry, only 5 of 37 cars avoiding wrecks yesterday. 86.5% of the field crashed. That would be the most destructive Coke 0400 in history. In 2019 Daytona 500, 36 out of 40 cars crashed, which is 90%.
I saw the one where it was like someone tweeted like the cost collectively was like around $4 million, I think. But that was like, I think, before that big wreck. Yeah, there was a lot of money was spent this weekend. But okay, if they had ended it, if they never got the race going again, because eventually they did. So Austin Dillon, despite all that effort getting through, was not in the clear yet. Had they got the race going, do you think Dillon should have been declared the champion? Or not champion, but I guess the winner? Or should they have done like FIA style where it's like the last like lap before the incident? Not all at once now.
Steven, you ask good questions. Oh no!
That's why Steven's trying to talk. He can't. Okay.
I was talking. I was trying. I was like, well, am I not talking here? Am I not talking here?
I mean, maybe you should invest in like better equipment, man.
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah, that $50 Amazon mic not doing it for you?
No.
It's okay. It's
$50. It's expensive, man.
It might be my USB split.
Okay. Anyway.
Anywho, as I was trying to say, my gut says you still leave Dillon as the winner and not go by FIA rules because you're not the FIA. But I don't know. There is also part of me that says, yeah, you probably should go back to the last actual racing lap.
Yeah, what is more fair?
Yeah.
As much as the FIA rules are kind of dumb, it is fair.
Yeah, but I mean, like, so if there wasn't overtime in a hypothetical world, and or say it was a white flag lap and the race was done, Dillon's the winner, and that's by your rule book. So that's my thinking, is that you still name him.
That's a good point. Yeah, I didn't think of that one actually.
Right. So, like, if the race was ending that lap, he would have won. So, I think you leave him as the winner, regardless.
I mean, it's a lot better than the way NASCAR used to do it, which was, big wreck, race to the line. Whoever gets there first, that's the position you're in for the caution.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which you had the guys then at full speed going through wrecks to race back to the line. NASCAR used to be a really crazy ass sport.
Yep.
It's not. Okay. Well, to be fair, yeah, it's not as crazy. It's more manufactured now, but we're not on that point right now.
I mean, she had to come in there with something. It's fair.
Anyway, so okay, cool.
Yes.
I mean, it was interesting to actually follow. I will say it was interesting to follow the whole NASCAR drama this week. I knew that there was a lot hanging in the balance in terms of the playoffs. So for the sake of the podcast, I paid attention.
Look at you, sacrificing your own time.
It's also hard not to when you get, NASCAR drama crazy in the group chat that we have. So
Well, then
Had
let's go to the final like 10 laps where you had like a breakaway 4, which was like, who was it? It was like Dylan, I think. Who else was in there? I think it was Reddick, Dylan, Gregson, and someone else, can't remember actually. But there was a breakaway 4, and I think it was Dylan and Reddick, and Dylan pushed Reddick out of the way kind of, and Reddick had to save it. I think it was Reddick.
No, Cindric.
Cindric. It was Cindric. Okay.
Because I remember in the highlight pack they were saying, yeah, Cindric's gonna be real pissed about that.
Yeah.
So,
However, like that move is genius by Dylan, because that broke up the momentum of the entire pack, got his teammate Reddick behind him to block for him.
Yep.
And there was 100% team owners on that last lap. He wasn't getting anywhere.
Yeah, well, Reddick already had 2 wins. He had nothing to gain from being
Exactly.
first. You may as well get your other
teammate
car in, right? Yeah. Well, and it's a smaller team, right? Like,
And the
RCR
worst
is
thing
not a
also, Truex lost momentum at the end there.
Mhm.
I think he was part of that 4 too, but on that he checked up, and it was such a big checkup that he lost so much momentum that he just began then falling through the order, and like in the span of 2 laps went from being in the playoffs to out of the playoffs because like 2 guys passed him, which was absolutely insane to be like, wow, he had it, he was running up there, he was fine, and it just slipped away. So, very unfortunate day for Truex. He should be in the playoffs. I will stand by that.
He should be.
that's fair.
He should. However, entertainment says, hey, that was a hell of a fucking race. That was fun. And Austin Dillon got in.
Even
So-
with the slightly lowered stakes with Bush's spot being open, yeah.
Yeah.
It's great.
Austin Dillon did a great job, to be honest.
Mm.
To get through and then to race and to hold on. Amazing. And
Did
also-
you guys see what I sent to you
What'd you send?
just now?
I am talking.
Fan-
No.
FanDuel Sportsbook. Someone won almost $1 million on a $13 bet because their
Oh my
four-leg parlay
god.
was Cody Ware.
Seriously?
Their four-way parlay was Cody Ware, BJ McLeod, Landon Castle, and David Reagan to all be in the top 10.
Oh
13.49
my gosh.
pays out 999,433.
Damn, I gotta start betting on these.
Wow.
doing parlays
That's
and this stuff.
insane.
That is nuts.
Prior to this race, Cody Ware had 0 top 10s in 80 cup races. Not even just this season, his career.
Well, I was gonna say,
BJ had-
guys like Castle, Gregson, Ware, McLeod did a great job just staying out of shit.
Yep.
Like they
But-
just stayed in the back, were patient. They're like, okay, we'll stay with the draft. Don't worry about it. Guys will take themselves out, and it worked for all of them. Like that's all of their best finishes ever.
Yep. So to give you an idea of why the odds were the way they were, Cody Ware 0 top 10s in 80 races. BJ McLeod 1 in 104. Castle 1 in 333. Reagan has raced in just 5 cup races in the last 3 years.
Damn.
So this guy can help foot the bill for all the damages.
That is amazing. I gotta start doing those parlay bets on NASCAR now. I didn't know. You could do
See, a whole bunch of people are going to start doing that, and now come Talladega, FanDuel's like, yeah, okay, we made all our money back. Don't worry about it.
100%.
So they're fine.
Yeah. The bookie always wins. No matter what. There's always
Always.
more money going in than going out. And that's why everything, like every event, every kind of gambling site has. Why do you think they give you credit?
Yeah.
Because you're more likely to lose the credit doing something stupid. And they just get you right back with the real money.
Yep.
Oh, that's me.
You get someone like Sean who's like, I was second every single race this weekend.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'll dump some more money back in. Fuck it, why not?
Hey, that being said, I did actually put money on Gregson in the top 10. So I won my money back. Actually, I
Good.
think I
That's
made
good.
$2.
I'll look
I
at you.
swear we need to have like a structured part of this podcast where you guys just talk about your betting or like what you're betting on this week. Because we always talk about it. I think we need to have like Sean and Steven's betting corner.
Sean and Steven's
Not
sobbing
sponsored.
corner over betting.
True.
Yeah,
I mean,
True.
I've already put my bets in this week for F1.
there you
Of course you did. Who'd you bet on?
We can go on that later. We'll
I
finish
was
off
gonna
with
say,
this.
we're gonna
We'll
touch
finish
on
off
this
with
later,
that,
right?
yeah.
Finish off the night.
But yeah, so Austin Dillon won. Tyler Reddick helped him. Austin Cindric third. You know, good race for him. Castle, Gregson, Ware, PJ McLeod, Martin Truex, and David Reagan and Kyle Busch. That's all your cars that finished on the lead lap.
So how many points did you say Truex missed by
3?
with that finish? Yeah.
Yep.
Oh,
He finished 9th and missed by 3 points.
Yep.
this is really sad.
Womp womp. And here's the best thing: BJ McLeod doesn't get points because he's not a full-time guy. Yeah, that's unfortunate. But hey, it's the way the game works, unfortunately. So now we got a fun playoffs to look forward to. Does anyone have any predictions for playoffs?
So just for reference, you have Elliott, Logano, Chastain, Larson as your top 4. Byron, Hamlin, Blaney, Reddick, Harvick, Bell, Kyle Busch, Briscoe, Suarez, Cindric, Bowman, Austin Dillon. That's your top 16.
So, who would you bet if you could, or just maybe 2 guys you think are not going to make it out of the first round of playoffs?
Not make it out of the first round, I'd say probably. I mean, it's easy to say one of Suarez, Cindric, Bowman, Dillon.
I will 100% say Dillon.
Yep. Barely squeaking in. Yeah, that makes sense. So your round of 16 is Darlington, Kansas, Bristol.
Is it 3 or 4?
3.
Okay, you sound like you were going to say another one. Okay, so Darlington, Kansas, and Bristol. 2 short tracks and 1 intermediate. I'll go out on a limb and I'll say Dillon and Harvick do not advance. I don't think Harvick will advance.
Okay.
That's sort of who I was thinking too. Damn.
He was hot for 2 weeks.
Yep. He was not good the rest of the year.
Nope.
That's right here. Where I'm gonna laugh because this would make so much sense if he finished like really well at Kansas, because I can't remember where he did well. Well, Bristol dirt, so
He
that
did
doesn't really
Michigan?
count. Kansas, he was 23rd.
Yep. There you have it.
So, yeah, sure. Call it there.
Yeah, I'll take those 2. Anyone else got
Bristol
anyone
was
else?
yeah, Dylan and I don't know, it's not really going out. I don't.
Just shitting on Dillon.
Yeah. Say Kyle Busch.
Yeah, the contract shit gets to him. Doesn't perform.
Yeah, or just, doesn't show up. It's been good, not great, right?
His only win
Sorta.
came on Bristol dirt, and he got lucky because wasn't it who wrecked themselves? It was Reddick and someone else. Was it Larson? Reddick and Larson?
Larson, I think.
Yeah, they wrecked,
And
and he barely beat them to the line.
Yep, and he was good at the start. He hasn't been great the last back half of the season.
Listen, Kyle Busch
yeah,
not making it's not a bad choice.
Like, he's got a couple top 10s, and he won the All-Star race, but that's whatever. But he's got a 29th at Richmond, a 22 at Daytona, 17 at New Hampshire, 19 at Atlanta, 36 at Nashville. So, yeah, sure, just to be different, I'll say Kyle Busch in there with Austin Dillon.
And Taylor will nod and agree and just, yeah. Okay. So now let's go for Taylor's favorite event of the weekend, the Ferrari paint train. I'm sorry, F1.
Okay, well, welcome to Taylor's Crying Corner. This is the part of the podcast where I just sob about the fact that Ferrari causes me so much emotional damage. But I'll never quit.
Ferrari is the reason Italians drink and eat a lot of pasta.
It's true. It's probably true. Okay,
That and
well,
the
where
soccer
do we
team.
start with Spa? No, that's facts. Facts. The soccer team that did not make the World Cup. Say what?
Yeah, but they won the fucking Euros. Who cares?
Anyway. All right, so where to start with Spa?
Verstappen
guess
said, "Hold my beer," and kicked everyone's ass.
Yeah, but you know what? I literally, so my dad on Saturday was like, okay, who do you think is going to win the race? And I was like, to be honest, and I should have bet on it, and I didn't, and I should have. Just because of the penalty, I said, no, I think Verstappen's going to win. And he's like, oh, but like, he's so far back. Like, do you think he's honestly going to make his way through the field? And I was like, Dad, it's Verstappen. Of course he's going to make his way through the field. However, he did have a lot of help with that disaster of a first lap.
I mean, yeah, but he made a.
That was probably,
He had an amazing first lap though, to get from 14th to 8th at the end of the lap.
yeah, like he had an amazing start. There's, we can't deny that.
They did pull the AlphaTauris out of his way.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, no,
Right.
they had to start in the pit lane. Totally. No, we weren't making them not be in his way.
This is why Gasly needs to be out of the Red Bull family. Anyway, yeah, honestly, the first lap was probably the most exciting bit of Spa, and then the rest of it was like typical kind of boring race. And then, of course, also questionable Ferrari calls.
We'll get to that one.
But we'll get to that one. So do we want to start with the start?
Yeah, let's start. You know,
That is
pretty.
usually a good place to start.
Yeah.
Oh, shush.
job there.
Shush you. Whatever, Cake. You know what? Goodbye.
I mean, it was a pretty normal start for Spa, right? Like, you had no contact into the first corner, and then through a whoosh down the Kemmel Straight, and then all of a sudden, you know, someone's going to come together somewhere. And it happened to be Lewis Hamilton and Fernando Alonso.
Who hate each other.
But also had the most, okay, in the moment, pissed off. Fernando Alonso's comment and his chirp on the radio, fantastic.
A+.
Iconic. Hilarious.
Like, this guy only knows how to drive from the pole. Okay, you know what? Yeah, fair enough.
Yep.
Fair enough.
But also, he's faster than you to be on pole. So, like, shut up, sit down.
Not since, last season, but whatever. Anyway.
It is hard to chirp a guy for only winning on pole when he has the most poles and wins ever.
Yep.
It's a little hard.
In a car that was, far surpassed the others.
But he also whips every teammate he has. Except Nico
Does he?
Rosberg.
Yep.
Does he?
Nico Rosberg is the only person that beat him in equal machinery.
I would say that Russell's been a lot more consistent than he has this season in the same machinery.
I'm just going to acknowledge the comment.
Why? Because I'm right?
Yes, obviously.
Thank you. Just saying. Anyway, we're not having that debate right now.
Yes. So, Hamilton gets taken out. Their comments were funny in the moment, but afterwards, both of them had like the most mature response ever. Lewis was like, yeah, that was my bad. Fernando's like, racing incident. Happens in the start. Like, you just know that old guys when, like, that happens.
Yeah, like whatever. I am impressed that Hamilton actually did
Admit fault.
take responsibility, because there have been situations where he's done anything but take responsibility for something that actually was his fault. So it was nice to see him actually, like, for the first time in I'd say a long time, be upfront about the fact that he caused something that, because he just made a move that he shouldn't have.
Yeah.
He made a mistake. But everybody makes them, and it's fine. It happens. Like, you can't have a great race every single time. So either Hamilton's finally learning that, or he's being reminded that, sometimes things actually are your fault, and it's okay to admit that. It's actually better if you do admit that, so that people don't get annoyed at you.
Are you talking about, like, your past here? Or is, like, something traumatic coming up with this? Because you seem kind of passionate. No? Okay, I just want to make sure.
Okay, first off, I'm trying to acknowledge something good that he did. You
In a
know,
backhanded
this
way?
is a little bit kind of. But I mean, hey, I'm not totally ragging on him, okay? Like I'm not ranting about how I don't like him this time around. I'm just acknowledging that like, hey, this is a good thing. Maybe keep doing that if you make mistakes.
Fair enough. Okay, we'll allow it.
Okay. I would say that that's a fair point. Like, I'm not going over and above my rant session here. Like, I'm not even really ranting.
No, yes, you are not. You're doing fine.
Thank you. Thank you for the recognition.
Yes. You can hate on him all in our group chat. Don't worry.
Then Sarah gets sad.
I mean, do the other group chat without her. Exactly. So, first lap, Hamilton has his incident. Second lap, Latifi tries Tokyo drifting out of the grass or sand or whatever. Nearly kills Bottas, which was a great birthday gift for him.
Yep.
I know. Happy birthday, Bottas. Here's a bad race.
Yeah, here is a DNF for not T-boning Latifi, and Hamilton have a fun walk back. And we got a safety car. And at that point, the race was over.
Yep.
Leclerc apparently had a tear-off in his brake ducts, which ruined his race because he started to overheat, apparently, allegedly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was sad.
I saw basically people were trying to like CSI whose brake duct it was. Doesn't matter.
CSI.
Like really? People
Guys.
it's Stroll's. It's Verstappen's. It doesn't matter. Shock.
Who cares? Like, nobody's gonna get a penalty for a tearaway going into somebody's brake duct. Like, you can't prove that. Like, people, please do something else with the time that you clearly have on your hands.
Yeah, like, if you're gonna get a 5-second penalty, like, you're not gonna get it for a brake duct. You're getting it for, like, I don't know, speeding in the pit lane.
Like an idiot.
So, yeah, Verstappen continued to dominate the field.
Yeah.
And then Perez was happily in second. Sainz was there in third. And Russell was there in fourth. There was like no fight at the front.
No, not really at all.
No.
There was nothing really happening. Oh, and can we also talk about, before we talk about, in full,
The sadness.
the sadness. Did anybody notice Ricardo had a pretty decent race until they pitted him so that he could be behind Norris?
I did not see that.
Oh yeah. No, it was the last like 10 laps of the race. Like Ricardo could have gone to the end of the race on the tires he had, but McLaren chose to pit him instead, which put him behind Norris at the end of the race. Despite the fact
Subtle.
that Ricardo had a very consistent race above Norris the entire time.
Yeah, the McLarens look nowhere.
Yep.
No, and they're so slow in a straight line, like so slow. They have no straight line speed.
No. The best part of the race was Gasly, Vettel, and Ocon fighting.
Mhm.
Which you had Ocon doing the double overtake on both of them.
That was great.
Which was very good.
Mhm.
Very well done. Apparently, Ocon said to Vettel afterwards, yeah, you passed him too early. If you get to chirp Sebastian Vettel, you take that every single time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then you had the Albon train. Because no one could get past him.
No.
That car is really good in a straight line.
Yeah.
Because it has no fucking downforce.
Exactly.
Wow, they just can't match his speed in the straight. Holds him up in the corner, but wow, they just can't get by him.
Hey, they got a point out of it. It works.
They did.
So
can we talk about the funniest
he's a
part
real
of
genius.
the funniest part of the weekend?
No.
Yes.
Ferrari.
No.
Always.
Got a Ferrari.
Always Ferrari.
No. No. No.
They decide with 2 to go, we're going to pit Leclerc. Leclerc says, please, for the love of God, no. Because he just knows it's terrible.
He just knows now.
He does. So Leclerc, listens to his team because he's a good boy. And he comes out behind Alonso. So he has to try to race around Alonso to get back. And, he actually doesn't get the fastest lap despite it. So, joke's on you, Ferrari.
Truly impressive.
Oh, wait. There's more. So, in that pit lane, you also went 1 kilometer an hour over the speed limit. 5-second penalty. You're now behind Alonso. You tried to get 1 extra point. And you lost 2. I don't understand this team. They are an absolute joke. Mattia Binotto really needs to be fired.
Yep.
Because since he has taken over this team, it has only gotten worse and worse and worse.
Oh.
There is no
Even
excuse.
when there's been hope.
You had the best car at the start of the year, and you fucked yourself over multiple times.
Yep. He is single-handedly driving this team into the ground because of stupidity. Like, I don't understand it. What thought logic is there? And, like, also, when you have your race engineer coming over the radio being like, okay, so do you want hards or do you want mediums? Since when is this up to the driver?
No,
to be honest, like mid-race.
If the driver makes the decision, you can't blame the strategist.
Yeah.
So he's just trying to
Can't
save
blame
his
strategists
job.
if they don't make the strategy. Yep.
Right, but like
Question?
here's the thing though, like what other team does that?
Exactly. You don't hear, "Hey Lewis,
Never.
do you want the softs for the next stint, or do you want the hard you're thinking here? What do you feel like you need out there?" No.
Yeah.
They have
Would you like plan A or Z?
Yeah, I think there was a plan G mentioned at one point in the weekend too.
There was a plan G.
I
I
think
think
it
it was
McLaren? I think it was McLaren. They're like, "Yeah, no, we can't do plan G." I'm like, "You fucking had a plan G?"
Yeah.
Like, let's see Ferrari even have a plan A. Because clearly they don't plan, and it's just like, okay, let's see what the pasta noodles, the Oracle, tells us. And they make their choice based on that. It is a joke of a team.
Like, what are they doing? Honestly, what are they doing? Spinning a bottle on a parm wheel? Like, somebody please tell me. I need to, like, I want to understand. That's all I want. I want somebody to put out a press release telling me what the heck the thoughts are that go through their minds when they think that something like this is going to work. Because, like, the past shows it's going to be a dumpster fire.
Okay.
Why risk it?
Ferrari is too Italian of a team. I know it sounds ridiculous, but as someone that's part Italian, I can make this claim.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah, they are too fucking Italian because they actually just make almost all of their decisions on impulse. It seems they don't plan it. They're not meticulous. It's all emotional, and they try to be different than everyone, not because they actually think it'll work, but they just think by being different, it'll work.
Okay.
We are smarter than all of you.
Yeah. It's it's the same thing they do with their soccer team. You know what? Sometimes it works. Sometimes in a blue moon, you have a wonderful run, a great thing, and you have a short-term run of doing great. But here's the thing. Because they always think that way, that they always have to be different than everyone else, eventually people catch on to what you were doing that worked, but then you're no longer doing what worked because you're trying to do now the new thing, but everyone else is doing what worked. So now you're just shooting yourself in the foot. It's the exact same way a goddamn, national football, national soccer team, football in the sense of European football, can go from winning the Euros 2 years ago. Was it even? No, it was last year, wasn't it? Last summer. Winning that to failing to qualify for the World Cup. because you were great at that time. You thought it was good. Everyone else started figuring it out. You decide to change. You shoot yourself in the foot.
Yeah.
Ferrari was at its best when a Frenchman and an Englishman and a German driver were kicking the shit out of everyone else.
And a Brazilian was there cleaning up everything else.
Yeah. They're too Italian. And you can even see it in like Drive to Survive. Like when the season they just decided to speak Italian only. It's like, why? For the brand? And I recognize I say that also while wearing like, red kind of. It's like a good Ferrari looking red here. But like, it is just ridiculous that this team continues to shoot itself in the foot and does nothing about it.
Yeah.
If Binotto is not fired by the end of this season.
To be a Ferrari fan.
If Binotto was not fired by the end of the season, I think that Tifosi should riot.
Yep.
Because you clearly have the mind in the design department. That works fine.
Mm-hmm.
Your people that manage everything at the track, every one of them needs to be taken out back and shot.
Okay, we're not going that far.
In like the sense of like, just leave.
No have a job anymore.
Yeah.
We can just simply say
shot out of a cannon. Yeah, that's what I meant.
There you go.
Yeah. Little delay there,
okay,
sorry.
they need to be fired. Gonzo. Toodaloo. Exit left. Never return.
Relocated to the great
There you go.
beyond.
What? Oh my gosh. No. We do not condone violence on this podcast.
Unless it's necessary. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Anyway,
No.
this is why I've jumped allegiance from Ferrari to Aston Martin. Because at least Aston Martin, I already have no hope for them. Therefore, I can't be hurt anymore.
Okay, first off, you cannot say that you do not have hope when in the group chat you literally sent a GIF saying that you have hope after practice 1.
Saying that I lost hope.
No, it did not say that you lost hope.
No,
It said that maybe there's hope.
The joke was, it's like, the whole like, oh, I have hope. Wait, no. Don't have hope now. It's just going to hurt you. That was the joke.
Hold on.
Steven got it.
Man loses a little bit of hope that he didn't know he had left.
Exactly. So therefore, yes. The joke was, I'm not hopeful because I've already lost the hope. Because this should give me hope, but it's not. Does that make sense?
No. Hold on.
Anyway,
That's not what you said. No. The receipts. I have the receipts.
That was the context I was trying to say.
Okay, well, the context. Okay, but what came through was a gift that says there is still hope.
Yes, but the joke was because there isn't actually. Because also, I think the context there was like Stroll was like 5th in practice or something. Like, oh. Yeah, he's not going to do that. He didn't even fucking make the points. Stroll barely makes out of Q3. Again.
That's true.
I am fully aware of exactly what Aston Martin will do.
Because every single time that Aston Martin does anything above P10, and I get a message from you in the chat, I get a little worried. You're going to start to have hope again.
Now, this is a perfect segue into our bets for next weekend.
Oh, gosh.
Now that Taylor wants to do that, let's talk about who we have for next weekend.
Which is where?
The Dutch Grand Prix at Zandvoort.
There you go.
I didn't bet on who's going to win. Because I don't know.
Well, we all know who's going to win.
Maybe.
Maybe?
Okay, this is part of my bets, okay? I may or may not have also done a kind of crazy bet.
Oh, boy.
Predicting Max
Latifi P1.
No, Max gets taken out.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
It'll be more if someone can catch him.
So, if Max doesn't have a good start, which he hasn't always had good starts, and you have 2 good passing opportunities on that track. And in theory, that track should be better for overtaking this year because of the cars being able to follow closely. Like, remember last year, Verstappen won by like 30 seconds or something like that? Like, he killed it.
Yep.
So my prediction is either Verstappen's going to do that again, or he somehow gets taken down in the first lap.
Yeah, I think the only way he gets taken out, though, is like F1 open lobby style. Someone's just crashing through a corner at full speed.
Carlos, take one for the team.
There you go.
Somehow, still
He can,
doesn't win.
if he just touches a little bit of gravel, and it'd be believable.
Yeah, going through the bank turn. Whoops, sorry, clipped you.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe something like that.
Big oops.
So based on that, I have two predictions, which is Max to be first driver to retire, and anyone to win from place 5, 6, or 7 on the grid, assuming someone
That's
have
a bold one.
someone having a bad qualifying and maybe possibly going up.
That's a bold
See,
one.
that one worked out for me this week
It's pretty bold.
at the second there was the rumor about Verstappen having to take the grid penalty, I bet any other grid position to win the race.
Smart.
That's smart.
So I bet that at, I think it was like plus 1,600 or something like that. So
Look at you making
Yeah.
smart bets.
I know,
That's smart.
and he did win. Other bets I have: George Russell top 6 finish,
Pretty safe.
pretty safe,
That's,
eh?
yeah, that's pretty
Uh,
safe.
Controversial one would be Daniel Ricciardo top 6 finish.
Oh,
Wouldn't take that one.
considering that McLaren is actively trying, like, screwing him, it seems at times.
Hey, depending that is part of the whole if Verstappen gets taken out. That will
Right,
time to
okay.
that. So I basically have like two timelines in my head. One, Verstappen gets taken out. One, he dominates. And the other one I have is Bottas and Magnussen in the points.
Okay.
Okay, I don't hate that.
Yeah.
Bottas had all his bad luck used up this weekend, so
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And tracks that kind of relate sort of to Zandvoort was Imola and Austria. Kind of high speed, kind of higher downforce. Looking at guys that did well there last year compared to who did well at Zandvoort, it kind of correlated. And looking at this year, that's kind of how I came to that conclusion. So yeah. Anyone
Okay.
else?
can I make a bet for the race afterwards, which is I'll take the over on fires started.
The what now?
I'll take the over on fires started at in Monza.
Oh.
I see. That's kind of funny.
There you go.
Yeah, that.
Help if
Yeah.
you knew what the schedule was.
No. I knew Monza was the next, but I don't understand fires because they light flares.
You literally just talked about them rioting, so
That's if they don't fire Bernardo at the end of the year. Keep up, man.
Are you even following, Steven?
No, he's
Yes, I'm
still
following very
he's
well.
still looking at the Piastri news.
Yeah, and there's shit all.
The second we're done, the Piastri news is going to hit.
Yeah,
Yes.
100%. That's exactly what's going to happen.
Exactly.
Like the second after. Okay, I'm going to bet. Okay, I can't even comment on betting. You know why? Because every single time I make a bet, you guys tell me it's not a good one. So
I mean, didn't you bet Russell to win?
In a Williams?
no comment.
Yeah, okay.
Exactly.
I did when Steven was still our bookie.
Yeah, that was free money for him.
No, it wasn't. Because I
Well,
wasn't charging. I should have charged a commission.
you should have.
Go ahead, yeah, make whatever bets you want. Sure, fine, whatever.
Taylor, one bet, either podium or who will win. Pick one of those.
Podium or who to win?
Yes.
Okay, well, I wouldn't do who to win because I'm like 100% sure it's going to be Verstappen. So, podium, I would say
Great content. Just silence as she thinks.
I have to think.
I mean, it's an audio format, so
Okay,
Okay.
well, sorry for the listeners. I'm thinking.
faster.
do,
So much pressure.
It like
Sean, don't use the Jeopardy music. Just like think of or mimic circus music.
Taylor, no, think. You can't hum.
Okay. Podium.
Enough starting.
I am going to say Norris.
Okay, that's not a bad pick. See,
I
here's
think
the thing.
that's like a deep one, but
Less thinking, more hot takes with no thinking. That's how me and Steven survive.
that's fair. That's quite literally how you survive.
Yeah, exactly. Who needs these modest takes there, Taylor?
Mm-hmm.
Fine.
Norris
Screw
Podium-
it. Magnuson.
Okay, that's a hot take. Good job.
Stroll.
Don't give me hope. Steven, any bets for the week for F1? And you can't say
Verstappen's gonna win.
Okay, that's fair.
I'll just go completely against you because that's how I win my bets.
I know. Red Bull 1-2.
I'll say no on a Red Bull 1-2 and say Sainz splits them.
Not gonna go with Leclerc.
Fuck no.
That man's
Why
lost.
the
all
hell?
hope.
Yeah.
That poor man is being broken just by being a Ferrari and being shafted.
Now,
bad
now
luck
you know
is
why Vettel
incompetent.
left.
Yeah, well,
Literally, the reason I think Sainz will do better is because they don't give a shit about him.
Yep.
They'll just say, yeah, fine, whatever. Just put him on whatever strategy everyone else is on, and he'll be the safe one. That's how he'll do well, because that's how he's done well the last, 5 weeks.
Yeah, they just have him do what everyone else does.
Yeah.
Fucking
It's-
shocker how that one works.
I really wish we could see what the possible results would be. There was an experiment done in a hockey circle where they put the GM's moves, like all the trades and signings, against a potato, and the potato's team was way better.
Yeah.
I really want to see the Ferrari strategists versus a potato. They just run the potato is allowed to run a regular strategy that everyone it makes sense to everyone else. Like just everyone or 60% of the field did a 2-stop. Okay, Ferrari's going to do a 2-stop. Where would they end up? Oh, they ended up being 5 spots above their other spot. Shocker.
yeah, the potato would get it right.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
The only time they've actually made a good strategy call all year was Austria. And it paid off once. And that's it. Because it'll work
that's it.
once, but it will never work for a whole season.
Yeah.
Hey, potato, do you want to go onto hard tires even though Alpine is showing that they can't do anything with them? No? Okay, cool. What? Time to go back and do this, actually. See.
Okay. Well, you do
If we
that.
get, if F1,
and
let's just say, with F1 Manager up and running,
yes, now that's there.
the,
You should be doing that. Do
Oh,
Ferrari
I wish we
versus
could
a
do
potato.
I wish we could do a co-op. So that way one of us could do the Ferrari 4D chess strategy and the other could just be like, tires are 30%, come in and change.
Or just start pitting when everyone else starts pitting.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a yellow and it's in our pit window. We're going to pit.
Yes. So, anyway, Ferrari's a disaster. NASCAR playoffs start next week. IndyCar is back next week, right?
Portland.
Yep. So it should be a fun time. And we will be back
be.
also next week to talk about all the stuff that happened and probably go over how Ferrari shot themselves in the foot again. And yes, Taylor needs some therapy. And on that note, goodbye.
Thanks for listening to Spare Parts. Remember to follow the show on Twitter at sparepartspod and the hosts at Stephen Clary, at Sean Cavarella, and at Tate Moore.